Since 1955, O'Donnell, Weiss, and Megay law offices has had a proud history of support for our surrounding communities of Pottstown, Phoenixville, all areas in between and surrounding. This program highlights just one of the many not-for-profit organizations in which our attorneys and staff are currently involved. Thank you to the many people who volunteer to make our region a great place to live and to work. Enjoy the show. Good evening and welcome to Legal Talk, the talk show brought to you by O'Donnell, Weiss, and Megay law offices. That's OWM Law. Your life, your business, your law firm. We're your full-service law firm, at 41 High Street in Pottstown and at 347 Bridge Street in Phoenixville. And finally, we're also at, most importantly, www.owmlaw.com. My name's Dave Megay, and I'm one of the attorneys at the office and have been for, about 30 years now, all but 30 years. And a big part of our legal practice is obviously serving you folks, our clients, but also serving the community, the business community, and the nonprofit community. And a big part of what we do as lawyers at the office is to give back to local charitable organizations throughout the Tri-County area, Berks County, Montgomery County, Chester County, and all points in between. And one of the things that we do is I serve on the board of directors for Springford Counseling, a full-service counseling agency here in Royersford, which serves also the Tri-County area. And to that end, I'm joined tonight, or we're taping outside of Springford Counseling this afternoon, or this morning, by Louisa Pieri. Louisa, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Louisa, folks, is part of Springford Counseling. She's the executive director of Springford Counseling. And what I'd like, Louisa, is for you and I to, on the first half of the show, talk about you.
Okay.
Talk about the history of Springford Counseling. Okay. And I'm hoping our viewers stay tuned for the second half of the show, where we'll talk about all the programs that Springford Counseling provides to the Tri-County, Berks,
yes,
Chester County, and Montgomery County areas. Louisa, tell us, we're standing outside of, what's this, 201?
North 4th Avenue.
North 4th Avenue in Royersford, folks. It's tucked away, hard to find, but just GPS nowadays, 201 North 4th Avenue.
Right here, yes.
You're here, no problem. Louisa, well, let's start from the beginning. What is your position at Springford Counseling? How long have you been here? And give us an idea of your background, educational and career background.
Okay. Again, my name is Louisa Pieri. I have been working here at Springford Counseling since 1999, so I've been here for an extremely long time.
You know, that's almost 20 years.
Yes, yes.
Because we're taping this show, folks, in the summer of 2018.
Yes. So almost 20 years, so I really know this organization very well. I graduated from Loyola College in Baltimore, and then with a master's of counseling psychology, back when, over 20 years ago, of course. And then
where'd you get the master's? From Loyola?
Loyola.
Okay.
Yes, yes. My bachelor's is from Cabrini.
Cabrini.
And then I moved on to Loyola, and I received my master's of counseling psychology. From there, actually, I went to work in Arizona with a Native American tribe. And I worked there for a few years before I moved back to the area.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Doing what?
I was actually their tribal counselor.
Doing mental health services?
Doing mental health, community education, a lot of, at that time when I was on the reservation, I worked on the Navajo reservation, but I worked with the San Juan Southern Paiute tribe, so that they were a small tribe on the Navajo reservation.
Okay.
So I worked in their Health and Human Services department, and I was hired as I went out to interview for a social work position, and they liked me, and they said, because I said no to a social work position because that wasn't really what I was trained to do, and the tribal president liked me and said that she thought the tribe needed a counselor. So they hired me for that. So basically, I was the tribal counselor, but I also helped with the health and human resources. So we worked with domestic violence, we worked with obviously alcoholism, We worked with community education. Difficult because many of the tribal members did not speak English.
Yeah.
And I did not know their language. So it was very interesting. We worked in an abandoned church with no heat, no air conditioning. Anywhere the Navajo can give us a space is where we worked. And you know, they got a lot of government funds, and I wrote grants there, and I helped the director of the Health and Human Services run other programs.
Okay.
And then I was also the tribal counselor on top of that. So I worked there for about 2 years.
Wow.
It was very interesting, yes.
And then you came back
Then I
here.
came back this way, and then I worked in Westchester at an intensive outpatient program. And then from there, when I was working there, I applied here. And then I
here,
became
Springford Counseling.
Springford Counseling. And then I was first an independent contractor, fee-for-service counselor, and then I moved on to prevention coordinator, outpatient coordinator, to now as executive director.
And you've been executive director since when?
I'd say at least 5 years.
At least, because
Yes.
I joined the board of directors in the fall of 12, and you were already the executive
Yes.
director.
So I'd say 6 years.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
because I was just new
Right.
when you came on.
Right.
So I'd say about 6 years. So time is flying in my head.
Yeah, good,
Yes.
good. I know
Yes.
you're busy. The Springford Counseling is really busy. What I'd like to do is, why don't you come on into the reception area, and we'll talk more about you and your staff.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, welcome. We're in the waiting room with Springford Counseling at 201 North 4th Avenue. Louisa, during the break, you reminded me, and I want to remind our viewers, I touched on it a little bit, but Springford Counseling is a 501c3 non-profit organization. And I know a lot of your time is spent with counseling, but an enormous amount of your time is spent looking for money to support this organization, which is tremendously important, supporting the mental health of the Tri-County area.
Yes.
And part of your duties are in soliciting funds is running fundraisers,
writing grants. Just, again, this all helps us with public education and community education.
Right.
But a lot of it's fundraising. We do have a clothing drive, a dinner each year.
Annual dinner.
And we're actually thinking of doing another big fundraiser for next year. So it's fundraising and annual appeals and grant writing.
Right.
To continue to receive donations.
It just also occurred to me, I was sure to mention my office's website, owmlaw.com.
Yes.
How about Springford Counseling's website? Please write this down.
Springford Counseling is springfordcounseling.org.
springfordcounseling.org.
Yes,
So
all one
please,
word.
after you're done watching this entire show, go online and check out springfordcounseling.org. Now, Louisa, we're standing in the waiting room.
Yes.
And give us an idea of what the physical plant looks like here at 201 North 4th Avenue in Royersford, and tell us a little bit about your staff and your contractors.
As we mentioned before, when you come down the hill, it is very isolated. So we're tucked away in the midst of 4th Avenue here. When you walk in, I think it's very much appealing.
Yes.
We have 5 counseling offices. We have a conference room. We have staff of 6 licensed therapists, and we have 2 drug and alcohol therapists.
Okay.
We do have evening hours by appointment. However, our daytime hours are typically 9 to 4 for daytime hours, in the sense of there's a staff member here. Michelle Sipe is our office administrator. She is typically here from 9 to 4 throughout the week. But
Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday.
9 to 4? Okay.
9 to 4. Someone is here, myself, or someone is here. It's summertime, so we kind of juggle our hours a little bit more in the summertime. But our therapists tend to work in the evenings, so our evening is by appointment only. So our therapists are here in the evenings. I do have a few therapists throughout the day, but evenings is our big time of, after work, after school is when clients can typically come in.
Right. You said it's isolated. I prefer to think of it as private.
It is private
because
and isolated.
Yeah, there you go. Wet tomato.
Yes.
Because the services you're providing the community it's sensitive, private,
It is.
private stuff. So
It
our
is.
so our offices here are conducive to that.
Yes, they are. When people come to when potential clients come to the beginning of the street, sometimes they turn around. And then they'll call us and say, where are you? So that's why, when people call, I say, okay, this is where we're at. And I let them know how isolated, that just continue down the street, that they will see us if they continue down. Because you can't really tell we're here, and that's the privacy of it.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Folks, or Louisa, I should ask, www.springfordcounseling.org. Not only can our viewers go online and figure out how to donate and support springfordcounseling.org, or excuse me, Springford Counseling through the website.
Yes.
That's right?
You'll see a donate now.
Oh, and they can, is that a hot link, or they can click that button? Oh, that's great, guys, folks. So please go to springfordcounseling.org and see how you can support the organization. But also, can people go online and make appointments? Or
no.
You need to make
You
a
have to
phone call.
Yes,
Okay.
because when you call to make appointments, we ask you questions about what your needs are.
Oh, that makes sense.
So that helps
Yeah.
us figure out which therapist would work best for you and things like that. So we need that personal interaction. I feel we need that personal. Everything's going computer today, but I like that personal interaction.
Okay. So, folks, if you feel that you're interested or in the need for some counseling services, drug and alcohol counseling services, family counseling.
Yes, drug and alcohol, family, child, behavioral, anxiety, depression, things like that. That's where we work.
Go online. The phone number is
610-948-0393.
We only have a minute or two before we break for halftime. Give us a little perspective of how long it's been around, the organization, and just a brief history, and then we'll break. And then, folks, the second half of the show, we'll talk about some programs that we offer in the community.
Springford Counseling has been here since 1994. So that is
25
years. So we've been here a very long time. Not everyone knows or aware that we are here, but 1994, and we keep the doors open and we continue doing what we do. So that, I think, in itself is an accomplishment.
Who started it?
Joyce Raffiti Tatum was
Joyce Raffiti Tatum.
Okay. She started the program. She opened, her and two other individuals came down, and they started this nonprofit organization for drug and alcohol and mental health.
Okay.
So it really has taken off.
Yeah,
since
25
then.
years later,
Yes.
you're still fighting a good fight.
We are.
Thank goodness
We are,
for the community. All right, folks, we're going to break, and on the second half of the show, Louisa and I are going to, or Lisa's going to take you through all the programs we offer throughout Berks County, Montgomery County, and Chester County. So you're watching Legal Talk, brought to you by the law offices of O'Donnell, Weiss, and Mattei.
For over 50 years now, O'Donnell, Weiss, and Mattei have helped their clients resolve a wide variety of legal challenges. OWM Law provides legal representation to clients throughout southeastern Pennsylvania. The attorneys and highly trained support staff utilize the latest technology and resources available to satisfy the needs of their clients. O'Donnell, Weiss, and Mattei, delivering the highest level of professional service.
Welcome back to Legal Talk, the talk show brought to you by O'Donnell, Weiss, and Mattei Law Offices. I blanked there for a second, not on my name, on office's name, but your life, your business, your law firm. We're at 41 High Street in Pottstown, 347 Bridge Street in Phoenixville, and our website's www.owmlaw.com. I'm Dave Megay, one of the attorneys at the office. And today, this month, we're featuring, as the office is trying to do occasionally over the last couple of years, featuring local nonprofit organizations, social service agencies or organizations that make our general Tri-County community better for the business community and better for us as individuals. And today, we're at Springford Counseling, if you're just joining us. And I'm joined by Louisa Pieri, our executive director here. I happen to be on the board of directors of Springford Counseling. Louisa and her staff does all the heavy lifting, and Louisa was telling us at the beginning of the show, or the first half of the show, the organization's been here since 1994.
Yes.
And it's 201 North 4th Avenue, folks, if you're just, in Royersford, if you're just joining in. Louisa, this half of the show, in the next 10 minutes-ish, let's talk to the community about the service area, what area you serve, and then what programs you offer.
Okay.
And I think that'll be enough to fill the community up with some real good information and hopefully prompt them to go on to www.springfordcounseling.org to certainly avail themselves if they need it or if they have loved ones who need services, but also to help donate to keep this organization going.
Yes.
So give us an idea of the service area.
Service area is really anyone can come to Springford Counseling. Our service area, I would say, would be the Chester, Montgomery, and Berks County. However, we have individuals who may live farther away, but they work close to us, so it's convenient for them to come here versus driving all the way home, or they come here on their lunch break, but they work in the area, but they may live out of the area.
Right.
So it's really on the convenience of individuals to come here for counseling. But most of our clients come from the Montgomery, Chester, and Berks County areas. Yeah.
You know, I just thought of this, and this might be a little bit of a curveball, but it just occurred to me. Can you give us a thumbnail sketch of how you work with medical insurance?
Okay.
This is a curveball.
Yes.
But health insurance, because I was just thinking as you were talking, we have viewers out there thinking, I have a loved one who needs services, but I don't know if he or she has medical insurance or what type of medical insurance. We all know what a challenge that is to marry our insurance to our medical needs, health needs.
Yes. We do accept most health insurance plans. So when individuals call, we ask them what health insurance they have. And then we know who we accept. So it's really our responsibility to make sure that we accept them, but then it's the client's responsibility to also double check and make sure on their side, you know, we are a provider in their plan. So I would always suggest to check with, most of our clients have already checked with their health insurance and they've gotten our name from their health insurance provider.
Oh.
And that's how they call us, because they know we're on that provider list. So we do accept most health insurance plans, but again, it's something that clients or potential clients will call up their health insurance to make sure we're a provider.
Good.
And then we know the plans that we are on, so when they call, we can say, if it's something that we question, that we're not sure, we have an outside billing company who will double check someone's specific plan to see if we're able to accept it.
Okay, that's great for the viewers to know, the viewer to know out there who's thinking that he or she may need services, but they feel that they have that ready-made excuse for not pursuing their mental health treatment or services or counseling. Oh, I don't want to fool with the insurance, or I don't have insurance, or I have insurance but I don't know if it covers. They don't have to sit there behind the watching TV guessing. They could call.
Yes.
What's the phone number again?
610-948-0393.
Or at springfordcounseling.org. Instead of using that insurance issue, pay issue as an impediment, they should call and talk to you or Michelle or Jennifer, and you'll help them navigate. Thank you, that's the word. Navigate that issue. That's great to know.
And if someone does not have health insurance, please call us, because we can offer a sliding scale fee, in a sense that if you are unable to afford the full fee, we can try our best to work with you with that, and that's why we fundraise, is to help individuals pay for our services. They're not completely free,
right?
But we can potentially help lessen the payment when possible.
So that's huge. That really breaks down the barriers there to people seeking treatment for their for mental health issues.
Yes.
Insurance, self-pay, sliding scale. So please call or go online and get some more information about Springford Counseling. Now, Louisa, let's talk about the different different services we offer
Yes.
here, you offer here, and also the programs that you offer.
Okay.
Okay. So there could be some people that are sitting there thinking, I don't know if they offer eating disorder issues or services on eating disorder or on childhood or adolescents or
Yes.
teens. Or
Yes.
why don't you give us a kind of a broad brush of all the services that you offer and then the programs that we offer?
Okay. I would start off with saying that we are an outpatient facility. We're an outpatient facility, meaning that no one sleeping here is not inpatient. Outpatient for drug and alcohol treatment. We are licensed by the state for drug and alcohol treatment, outpatient. And then we do have mental health outpatient. So typically that looks like once a week counseling. Sometimes it could be twice a week counseling, but it's typically once a week counseling. We do work with children through adults on various different types of disorders and needs. It could go from family counseling, marital counseling, individual counseling. We work with anxiety, depression, substance abuse, obviously. If there is something that someone comes in and they present with something that we may not work with, then we would refer them to the right place to go. Because, again, this is outpatient setting. There are some individuals who may need inpatient setting or intensive outpatient setting, so we would help them get on that road to the right place.
Great, great. So it sounds like you can pretty much be either the counseling center for, or at least the open the door to other centers if it's not something that we do
Exactly.
here.
Exactly.
And you provide services to all ages, did I hear you say?
All ages.
From off the top of your head, roughly how young do you have?
I would say 5
5-ish?
through
55-ish?
105.
Oh, 105. Okay. Okay.
Yes, anyone less than 5, really toddlers, we usually refer to then county services because they're such a young age, and we'll try and find the right service for them. But typically, if a child is speaking and able to discuss their emotions or whatever behaviors, we would be able to work with them, and parents. And most of the time, it's the parents that really need to have a communication with the parents to help with the child, the young child.
Right.
A 15-year-old will want to come in themselves and discuss their own issues.
How about,
makes sense.
you may have mentioned, I'm sorry for interrupting, you may have mentioned this, but what about family law issues where the family is recently separated, recently divorced, and the children need counseling to handle that, and or the adults need counseling
to help the children or to help themselves as a family unit to work with the change.
Okay, you mentioned drug and alcohol, so that would be those with criminal issues, DUI, or any other kind of arrest issues, as well as drug and alcohol for those who aren't in the criminal system.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Last but not least, we have a couple minutes yet, 3 minutes. The name is Springford Counseling. You're located at 201 North 4th Avenue in Royersford, but you offer services throughout the Tri-County area to a number of different school districts, not just Springford by any stretch.
No.
Give us an idea in the next minute or two we have, the last minute or two we have, of some of the programs you offer mobily outside this office to the different school districts.
I already just discussed how we're an outpatient program, but we also run a lot of prevention programs. And prevention, yes. So this past year we were in Boyertown School District, and we did run a Signs of Suicide program for their 9th and 10th graders. So all the students received the same information about what to look for when a friend or a peer may be thinking of suicide. And the whole gear of that program is to make sure that friends know who they can talk to. If they see some signs, they have some concerns, who they can talk to help their friend. And it's not something to be kept quiet. It's something to talk about.
That was Boyertown School District.
That was Boyertown, yes.
Any other school districts?
In the past, we've worked with O&J Roberts.
Okay.
And
so
of course,
now we have Berks County covered. We have Chester County covered. Okay.
And obviously, in the past, we've worked with Springford school district also.
Any of the Pottstown school districts?
Potts Grove. This year we went in there and we ran a college transition program. So we do have, depending on the programs and the interest, we can really go to any school district that has interest in the programs. But we do have a college transition program, a signs of suicide program.
Great.
Here in the office, we have a DUI program, an anger management program.
Okay.
There are more specific programs that we run here in the office.
All those programs that you're running, not only in-house, but mobilely, cost money.
Yes,
so
they
folks, please go to springfordcounseling.org, and most importantly, look to Springford for your mental health needs, but also look to Springford Counseling for your charitable donation desires as well. So Louisa Pieri, Executive Director, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Folks, thanks for joining us. We're OWM Law, your life, your business, your law firm. Have a great night.